goes once more. He can chase this down. Has he got time once more? Just overthrowing those deep looks again. They're just maybe just shelve that a little bit more. There's a phrase, you know, discretion being the better part of valor, and maybe be a bit more valiant. Just ease up on that one a little bit.
Yeah, this has been a very long point, and it seems like we're just seeing the exact same things from both sides. Czech working it down, no options further down, having to handle all the way down. Getting frustrated. Doing a throw that doesn't quite come off. That gets intercepted and then blazes away down the other end where he goes too far for the intended receiver.
A little bit like deja vu all over again, isn't it?
It is. Let's see if we can break the trend here.
You see, arms spread, just so frustrated that not seeing those connections.
Territory.
There's going to be a brief stoppage. I think a little foul, maybe as the player came through the cup, or at least that second line of defence. Players waiting for this to be checked back in. It's all going backwards. This really is Callahan country, right in the middle of their own end zone. I'd like to see them. They've spread out and they've got spaces behind that front line, but they're not taking those over the top throws, which I'm pretty sure they have in their locker, just about squeezing it through, faking them around. But there's no more yards to go, knowing when to just to put the pace away a little bit rather than force it. That's a lovely thread through. Goes to his knees, makes the catch. Thought about the deep look, the crowd wanted it, but they didn't get it that time. Transition goes into single coverage. Oh, Thompson bids but doesn't get there. So they're looking around, desperately trying to find a matchup.
She's an exciting player.
Oh, and the distance goes through the hands. Oh. Nice second effort bid by Havelkova.
And a timeout's being called.
Thompson gets the disc off the swing and takes the tee, and that makes sense to me because this point's ground on a little bit. It's been quite slow paced, but it's always nice to get a bit of a breather.
That's right, especially if you're running a zone, your legs are going to be burning.
That front line was doing
a
reasonable amount of work. It's been effective for them, but I've been really impressed by the way they transitioned off that zone into going one-on-one.
Yeah.
It's been very fluid. Rather than wait until they get right to the end zone and then leaving bus, they're waiting until the players spread themselves out in such a way that that transition happens more naturally. And the Czechs have really struggled adapting their offense, going from that zone, quite methodical, slow-paced to that more driving, grinding, match defense offense. Defense offense, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So, just about nearly halfway through this game, as I mentioned, the game's still 55 minutes today rather than the 70 we had yesterday in 1 hour slots. The cap rule's still the same though. When the hooter goes, you finish that point. And we're not in bracket play yet, that's game over.
That's all right, I'll be interested to see if the Czech team can get the turn here and put that pressure on. They have had a few good intercepts and a few opportunities, but they just haven't managed to put the points on the board.
So Thompson will bring the disc off, bring the disc in off the timeout. Players positioning themselves downfield, obviously off the timeout. The offense sets and the defense then sets around it, so we can see whether the Czech Republic choose to poach this in some way once they know what the look is, or whether they're just going to play a more traditional, honest match-up defense.
So got a bit of a horror-o happening.
Thompson bringing in the disc. Again, trying himself at the backfield. Release backhand goes downfield. Aldershaw's a player who's always looking for that give-go. She want to keep the disc moving so quickly. It's a style that I really enjoy watching and playing. Just about squeezed that one through to Senier, but there's going to be a brief stoppage here. Thompson still have the disc. Czech's back in now. Thompson finds an underneath his Taylor, positions his body in such a way that the cutter can't get there, and that flick came out a little weird, and it's going to be a foul called. One of the things where it looked like he was trying to throw through the contact, knowing that he could maybe get the foul call. Things when players are too close, you don't give them that disc space that they require. It's going to end up fouling. So Taylor finds an option on this sideline, the 67 shirt of Brown. Swinging around the back, here's Thompson. Looking for the lefty.
Throw straight to the choke line.
Inside out backhand, but it was behind the target, Skyer. There was separation there, but wasn't able to get it. Just going match up off this turnover. But quickly they didn't really have time to set the zone up. Coming on the sideline, swinging it around. Not really gaining any yards though. Looking for that wicked low release backhand. Goes to his knees, toes it inbounds. Nice grab there. Sensible thing, gets it off the sideline. Oh, just an overthrow, goes out the far side. One of the Czech players on that far sideline just stops it going further and interfering with that shenanigans Germany game. The fleet foot Aldershaw picks it up, takes the immediate swing to Senier, but just turfs that one. Came out a little bit wrong and didn't get enough underneath it. And a free turnover for the Czech Republic. In a vertical set downfield, trying to isolate a cutter in that far sideline. Handler burns up line. Aldershaw thought about coming in and poach off. Couldn't get there in time. Break across the field. Just goes to ground. They're not getting free naturally, and it's causing these little forces. That time the throw was a little bit off. It feels like this line's had just not quite the chemistry that we've seen from other points from the Ranbow Brigade, and Thompson goes flying through with a layout D. What a sick D, and oh, bobbled, but caught by Senier. This point's getting spicy for the Ranbow Brigade. Aldershaw again looking for the give-go, calls the travel on herself, checks it back in. Here's Thompson for the excellent poach block. Now Senier makes a great grab. Oh, this point is spicy. They're not making it easy on themselves. Here's Taylor. Little high release, works to this near sideline. Maybe thinking about the shot to goal, instead takes the swing sensibly into the centre to Taylor. A little pop high release over the mark. Looks at the end zone. Gets it to Taylor right on the doorstep now. Kind of falls into Thompson. They do. It took a long time. That point really ground on, but another break for the Ranbow Brigade. Still holding the Czech Republic to that bagel, 6-0, and that possession was one of the more heart-pounding I've seen. They didn't make it easy on themselves that time. A couple of bobbles, some great grabs, a ridiculous D from Jenna Thompson to get the disc back. Just not even her player, but just saw what was going on and just shot away, sprang off her feet.
A few of the Czech players who were on that point just...
Not a surprise to see that, to see a quite a large line change from both sides here. Desperate to get some fresh legs on the field. You see there the players signalling or indicating their gender matchups.
Sufficient. Just use one word to describe two things.
Right, who doesn't love a good portmanteau?
I don't like mushrooms.
Shaking my head at you in the booth.
Worth it.
So the Ranbow Brigade getting ready to pull 6-0 up here on the Czech mixed team who never really got going in this contest.
That's right. Let's see what these Czech players could do. We haven't seen much of them.
Valeros is going to pull the lefties. Quite a few lefties actually on this Ranbow Brigade side, more than I usually see. It's the target. Spirit captain for the Brigade side puts the mark on. Going underneath of the Czech Republic. There's a cutter going. Going to blade it towards the end zone. It's just a touch too far.
And the crowd are disappointed too.
There was definitely separation, but the throw just lost a little bit too much. Laura Suarez, Leo. Going to bring the disc in, rolled out of this sideline. It's going to go right from that front cone. Looks like a zone loop from the Czech Republic, trying to throw something a little bit different at their counterparts. Oh, high release backhand over the top, over everyone. Thought there was nearly a bid for a Callahan available, but the Czech Republic will take the short field turnover anyway. Looking at the end zone, kind of goes up line, very congested. Two of them in the same space, just dishes it off, not in the end zone just yet. Continuation towards the far sideline. The Czech Republic get on the board. Langham with the goal. It's been hard grinding for them so far. Turned it over initially, but that zone look got the turn on the first pass. Would not be surprised to see them use that one again. And then that time, reset it off and then use that disc flowing towards the break side to punch it in on that far sideline. That's got to be pleasing for the Czech Republic. And obviously, maybe with the shorter games, you might not have time to make a full comeback, but if you can just get as many points as possible, you can still improve that Swiss draw coefficient. Just await what the algorithm spits out for you. All hail the almighty algorithm.
Just getting table service here up in the commentary booth from one of the crew.
We are exceptionally well looked after, but they do a good job of making sure that everyone is catered for here at Windmill. They put in such a fantastic job, and it's situations like this where the adverse happens, almost certainly the worst weather we've probably ever had at Windmill, and they're just able to adjust on the fly and keep games going, which is a phenomenal achievement. Thompson is going to bring the disc in from the brick mark, that horizontal set very far deep. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and work it through the handlers for a while. Inside forehand, Volzak finds Thompson, a little bit far, but low bid, and another bam from Jenna Thompson, and she wants the spy, spinning it deep. Taylor gets a hand to it. That green glove couldn't bring it in.
Good contest.
No call. Just great spirit. Players trying their hardest to make it stick. Couldn't get it
it's a
quite
glove,
to
big
work.
glove over there. Green gloves and black gloves. Slam boxing.
But we'll see what counter punch the Czech Republic have here. See, poaching underneath. High swing is going to go. There's a bid and D opportunity. Goes up early. Maybe a foul call. Slap of the hands, perhaps, as he tried to come over the top and get the block. Just a little bit of discussion here. It wasn't a great throw anyway. Just tried to put it towards that far side, but it hung for too long, and it meant that there was a chance for defenders to get in the way. Going to be contested, so the disc is going to go back and will stay for the meantime anyway in the Czech Republic's possession. But actually, it must have been a stall out over there, which I hadn't seen, because disc is going to turn over there. Thompson's going to pick it up right on the end zone line, trying to get an isolation right to that front cone. Maybe thinks about a swing off. This is a little pop-up to Borzak, steaming through with a block.
Great
Number 3 for the
defense.
Czech Republic, Eva Havelkova. Just tried to pop it up and rejected resolutely by the Czech Republic.
That's right, not in her house.
See once more, really poaching underneath, trying to bait the Czech Republic into putting it deep. So they're going to swing it all the way across the end zone. Trying to find underneath, oh, a little bit overthrown. Bit of opportunity, does go down for it. Shuttle, but couldn't bring it in, and now Belarus breaks the mark around. Young looks at the end zone, and they get it in on the far sideline. Clearly they're excited about it. A little bit of showboating on the live stream, and why not when you're 7-1 up here at the glorious Windmill tournament, Windmill 15. What a weekend it is, and game's going to probably go on quite late into the evening now, so there's going to be a little bit of a party atmosphere for those final games, I think. And obviously before the big party tonight. You got costumes sorted out? No. No. Actually, to be fair, I don't know either, so I don't know either.
The wind is now picking up, at least up here in the stadium on the ground. I'm not too sure how it's feeling, but flags blowing at the end of the field.
Yeah, some flags in the distance. A little bit fluttery over towards our left, so there's a little bit of wind in the air. It's not massively strong, but what I'd call a thrower's wind, enough to really make you have to properly execute these throws in slightly shorter games as well. We're going to have half time happening now, so that's why we've seen the sides change ends after that score. Obviously, as well as switching into half time, the dictating gender end zone switches as well. That's the mixed ratio rule B, which is in use this weekend. More mixed action coming as well, with only half the fields in use. It's going to be double mixed in the morning, say in the morning. It's just in the afternoon now, which I can scarcely believe. So players
just looking for the disc here.
Out the back of the other end zone, so that's going to have to go all the way back. Ranbow Brigade started the game on offense. Tried to hit a little bit of Mac-minded Belarus, didn't quite work. However, there was an attempt.
There was. The disc is just now having its own little game.
So just 15 minutes left in this game before the cap comes on. Ranbow Brigade pulling up 7-1 against the Czech Republic here at Windmill. Benchuris alongside El Shak. Big ball, we're back underway here. It goes high over the stadium, curls its way back in bounds.
That's right. Not much depth, but a lot of height.
Gave them time to chase it down, and they've got that zone set nice and early. It's been very useful for them so far in this game. A little bit of rain in the air, still some moisture. Squeezing that one through. Now working it around the back. Really see trying to space it, get it through the cut, but they haven't looked for those over the tops at all. Trying to squeeze it around just a little bit low. Dies, unfortunately, at the last moment. Ranbow Brigade for the cup. Into the centre of the field. Faked by Singh. Then swung into the centre. They're working it nicely around the back, using that full width of the field. Doesn't like that up line cut. Is going to turn, just dish it off behind. Big expansive fake, trying to space those cutters out. Just slips through the hands of Ostertag.
Czechs with another opportunity to get some points on the board. Double their score.
We'll see if they can figure out the zone look this time. Oh, nice blade. Finally they stretch it over the top and it brings them some joy. Obviously, as a commentator, I always like the slightly more expansive style of alternate, but they've shown that it could be a great way of just opening those spaces up. Swing it around the back. Just looking downfield. So maybe seeking it through to Patchton, but instead goes towards the far sideline and gets the disc back. See again, just beckoning and trying to motion cutters around. Lovely scuba, they've got those throws. So
He's fumbled that disc then.
You let him in. That's an expansive blade right down the far sideline. Bid comes flying through. Look at that make-up speed from the Ranbow Brigade. Just hung up a little bit. You can see he was waiting for it to come into his hands. And if you just slow up for a second against players of this quality, they can really eat up that ground.
Got the crowd excited though.
Just flew to the far sideline. Older short mid top once more. Tries to squeeze it down the far sideline. Ostertag's gone deep. Gonna be a lefty puck if he can read it. Well brought in. Dished back. A couple of cutters going towards the end zone. Oh, and wide open was Robin Skyer. They did a great job of hustling all the way down the field to make sure that they were going to be the first person to catch that disc afterwards. And so often you see after a big put like that, you kind of get a bit on your heels, you kind of watch it and let it sit in the flight, but good players do that. They chase it down, they get in a position, so once trust their teammates to bring it in, and when it is, they're going to be right there to play off nicely. So 8-1, Ranbow Brigade breaking to start the second half as well. See that put again on the replay. This was much better weighted. They overthrew them out the back of that end zone.
Good catch.
A couple of times earlier, yeah. Well read and well brought in, and then rather than instantly force it in, just waiting for the player to come open, just popping it around a bit before Skyer scored the goal. So Thompson's going to pull for the Ranbow Brigade. See them signalling their gender matchups. Thompson raises the disc in her hand, ready to pull. Big lefty backhand goes deep. Caught just shy of the attacking brick, of the defending brick mark. Swinging to the sideline. See, try to pass off defenders and receivers downfield, and they just, Danda drops an easy under, was open, but he just let it slip through his grasp, maybe thinking about what the next throw was going to be. Oh, and a tip on the mark. You can see her shake her hand.
Shake it
Got
off.
quite a lot of that one.
Taylor Swift it.
Just read the release point nicely, but that throw pops up. It's tipped by Volzak, but just enough to deviate the path away from the Czech receiver. Senier picks up now for the Ranbow Brigade. Looking for a short field, break to Thomas, and a rolling backhand to Levko Valzak. Oh, a little bit of showboating on the celebration, doing the worm. The Ranbow Brigade are loving it right now, and why not when you're 9-1 up?
That's right. It's hard to feel a bit disappointed when you're in such a big lead. And definitely in control of this game.
You see it on the replay, just getting low. That inside flick, and with the defender on the wrong side, can easily put that backhand out into space without much pressure from the mark. It's why breaking the force is so effective, especially in the end, especially in the red zone. So the Czech Republic just haven't really ever got going in this game. They've looked a little bit disconnected. Like they're not sure what they want to do.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like they're very much like the Ranbow Brigade dictate the pace of how this game's played, and they've tried to play to their style rather than their own. So one of the Czech players there wearing one of those very fetching Windmill sweatbands, the red and white red and yellow stripe on that left wrist. Came in the player packs.
Look fly merch.
Yeah, it looks like they've done an excellent job kitting us out this weekend. Our very fetching purple tinged volunteer jerseys, although I must admit, full disclosure, I'm not wearing mine because it didn't survive the rain. It did survive, but
it's wet.
But it's very wet. Very wet.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful shot into the middle of the field. So to cut you up there,
That's right.
And now they're going to put deep. A little bit of spice on this. Oh, just a misread. Got too far underneath it. Thought it was just going to die a little bit sooner than it did, but it's held its line and held its shape over his head. It went. Looking, I think, for 25 Resnick. And now Valeros picks up for Ranbow Brigade. Underneath goes to Ostertag. Little high release backhand. Squeezes that one here on this near sideline. Is Singh. Back and swung across the field, using the full width, really stretching the Czech Republic laterally now. Is Oldershaw. Once more, doing that throw and go. That is her signature move. On the sideline, inside flick into the middle. High release, oh, he's going to have to bid. Oh, picture perfect layout for the Ranbow Brigade. Look at the swagger on that one. Gave him a job to do, but my word, did he do it. And the Ranbow Brigade all over the Czech Republic. 10-1 the current scoreline.
That's right, it's a blowout.
It's a game that's not as close as you would have expected given the Swiss draw standings, but that's the way it plays out sometimes. Obviously, as well, with a big win like this, the Ranbow Brigade could maybe force their way into that top 8 bracket. Look at it again, what a grab. Excellent shots as well from our camera crew. It's a 10-1, the Ranbow Brigade lead here.
That's right. The Czech line looking slightly bewildered at the moment.
Yeah, a bit like they're not quite sure what's hit them.
There's probably a whole lot of rain. That's what got me.
It was a lot of, 4 in the morning, it was just beginning to spit, and I was like, oh. And obviously when you're in a tent, everything sounds loud, so I didn't realize quite how much rain there was until Morgan woke me up in the morning. It's like, oh, games are cancelled. It's like, what? Yeah, there's rain everywhere. I was shocked because I thought I didn't sound that loud to me. I say I slept all right, I only got 3.5 hours, but that's a lot for women, isn't it? So we'll see what the Czech offense can do this time. Once more, Ranbow Brigade looking to poach it. Oh, pops up. Chops her feet a little bit to make sure she stays in bounds. Swung off into the centre of the pitch. That's a nice yard gain at downfield. There's a reset available if they can find it, and they do dish it back to Garbova. A little bit of a stretch there, and towed in on the sideline. They're just checking whether she towed her feet in, whether her foot was up or not. Look at it again here on our replay. Can't quite see the feet, but my initial instinct was she did have that foot up. Going to come and have a look at it on the replay. We've done our job, people. We are the future of Ultimate. Oh, we can't get the replay now. You've let us down, crew. You've let us down. They haven't let us down. They did a great job.
Good recovery.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah, just ran into him in the end. Just gets checked back in. There's a free reset available. Wouldn't surprise me to see them slow it down. And actually, number 12, Stephen Shot, is indicating that's what he wants them to do as well. Senier again with that low release. Flick, bit available for Volzak. In and out of her hands. She got down low to it, but it just rolled over the fingertips and into the turf. Little slap her hands, and the Czech Republic can get another shot at the spot. Still wearing that distinctive yellow cap. Oh, just a simple drop in the end zone off that swing. Just nothing seems to have worked for the Czech Republic. I think they're in their own heads now.
Yeah, the unforced errors are through the roof.
And I'm sure they'll look back on this game and just, maybe sometimes you just have to write it off as a bad job. Similarly, you can see was looking for that flick. And then just a little pop. Revolution on the backhand to Suarez Leo. It's another break for the Rainbow Brigade. 11-1 as this game just about to hit that time cap. So we'll probably get one more point in. Game's playing to 55 minutes today rather than the 70 we had yesterday.
Go down 12-1.
It's always a little bit anticlimactic when you score in this format, when you score that last point, but it's still quite a large deficit. But as you mentioned, it's always good to end on a high. Especially somewhere like Windmill, where you always want to be on that high. Just makes it so much easier going into your next game. Just knowing that, okay, it didn't go our way, but at least we finished it. Putting it another one on the board.
Players around us just wringing out their clothes as they hang them up on the washing line. We're not lying about the rain. It is wet. It's a deluge.
Big pull goes up from the Rainbow Brigade, lands just shy of the end zone, fielded on the hop by the Czech Republic. Couple of cutters come underneath, doesn't like it, turns the reset, doesn't see him, still count rising, just about squeezes that one through. Did not really think there was a window there, but somehow I found it. Looking for it. Oh, a lead pass.
Dropped
Got a hand on it, but ground stripped herself on the landing. Tried to turn the disc over in her hand before she landed, but couldn't quite get it done in time. Lost the target, marches towards the disc. Puts it deep. Oh, this is spicy. Can try and tow it in the back line of the end zone. Just going to go out of bounds. Overthrown. Not entirely sure what the look was there.
No, there's a lot of lines marked on this field, but
yeah, maybe wasn't entirely sure how deep the end zone was, or maybe just didn't get the execution. Wanted to go more to this break slide and over the top of the stack, but execution wasn't there. Czechs bring it back in. It's just not getting free against this ferocious Rainbow Brigade defense. That's a nice low release backhand though. Takes it, instead takes it to the centre of the field. Lukash sends it back. Pick downfield is going to bring a temporary halt to change things. Just checks back in. Bid comes, but it's a bit late. It's going to be another stoppage for a pick. Just goes back. Pick's player was free. Someone's just had a very loud sneeze. It's one of the things where obviously in the stadium just these little things get picked up and echoed around for a low release backhand. They're on this sideline, fakes it, swings it into the centre of the pitch.
He's been an impressive player, but I don't see him on our list. Number 71 there for the Czech side.
Little low release flipped backhand. Trying to isolate it. Gets the defender. Going the wrong way and the disc is overthrown. No call. Turnover stands. Young will pick up for the Rainbow Brigade, going still horizontal offense. Ostertag initiates underneath, gets the disc. Downfield. Swing goes. Now Hurry's backhand. Finds Skyer and they look downfield. Finds Taylor. Swung into the centre. This is looking very fluid for the Rainbow Brigade. Oh, a silky scuba over the top and reeled in with the left hand by Ostertag. 12-1 the current score now.
And I haven't heard the jingle yet, but maybe we can't hear it over here. People are looking around at their watches going, it's longer than our time.
Yeah, I think they're just talking to each other.
Trying to just end the game themselves.
Yeah, whether they've got one more point or not. So you see, players are engaged in discussion. We're just going to get a replay of that last point. This was nice, patient offense and a little bit of flair to end it. You see Ostertag come free and just scubas it over the top. So there's just engaging in discussion about whether we've got one more point in this one.
Everyone looking around for some guidance here about the...
Yes, just...
One more,
and then one more point, exactly. We came here to play Frisbee, so why not do one more point? Almost pick-up style mentality, first 7 on. And that's what you want to see, even like at the end of a blowout loss like this. They're still eager to get one more point.
Start your games now.
Yeah, so we did hear the signal to start the next game, just over the speaker.
But we'll just play one more for this one.
Hopefully it won't be like that.
Marathon
it was the
point we
5th
had
point,
earlier.
yeah.
Nice. Catch the ball, bang it deep, score. Lovely bit of business. Get it all in there nice and quickly. Just getting ready for the next round of games to begin. Thompson pulls for the Rainbow Brigade. So looking downfield, but not really seeing a free option. Eventually find a high release backhand to Garbova, and it's continued towards that far sideline. Trying to look back at the reset, gets it through, and then gets it back into the centre. Does Danda. Melkuig has it on this sideline. Doing a very good job of just working in between those open players, taking advantage of those switches. Oh, and looking for a lead. Cheeky IO flick, but palmed away by the Rainbow Brigade. Oh, and given back in short order. Did a nice work, heads up D to get the turn, but gave it back instantaneously almost. Nice gainer across the pitch, and again, just we've seen that so often in this game, guilty of looking downfield at the next option before securing the pass. Just
those chickens.
Nothing seems to have gone right this game, really, for the Czech Republic. Senier back to Oldershaw. Barzak comes underneath. Finds Thompson. Attacking those two calls towards the disc. Senier. Oldershaw pops up to make that catch. Barzak's free down the line. Think about maybe ending it in style, blending over top. Oh, there's some spice here if they can bring it in, and the Rainbow Brigade ending in style with a skying grab to take home a 13-1 victory over the Czech Republic. dominant in this game. The Czech Republic never really got anything going. Bit of a write-off for them, but the Rainbow Brigade looked very assured, and with a huge win like this, who knows, we might see them in that top 8 bracket in the Swiss draw. We're going to wrap up quickly here so we can get the next game started, but on behalf of El Shak, I've been Benji Reese, and we'll see you on the other side.